Fine. Good afternoon to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine and you all are doing well. So warm greetings to you all students. Welcome to our today's online class. So now we are studying about chapter 10, isn't it? So what's the title of our chapter? Flow of control. Okay. So before I am going to start about today's portion, so just recall what are things you have studied at the last class. Okay. So what are things you have studied? So in this chapter, what are things you have studied? What do you mean by statement? Then what do you mean by flow of control? Then what are the kinds of statements you have studied? Sequential statement. So last class I have started iteration statement, isn't it? So what do you mean by iteration statement? First, what do you mean by sequential statement? So once you run the program will run as a order. That means first line will run first. Then for example, consider 10 lines in a program means, so like a order 1 to 10 lines, one by one it will run. That is called sequential flow, isn't it? Last class you have studied about iteration statement. What do you mean by iteration? So iteration means particular lines of a program or particular block of code will run repeatedly or more number of times, isn't it? So that kinds of statements we are calling as an iteration. So we are giving some conditions. So based on the conditions, the particular block of code will run repeated, isn't it? So under the iteration statements you have studied three things. What are they? For loop, while loop and do while loop. Okay. So just I have started. So and also I have studied parts of the loop. So the loop is divided into three parts. What are the parts of the loop? Are you remembering? Initialization part, text expression and update expression, isn't it? So what do you mean by initialization? So you are going to initialize some variables with some values. That is called initialization. Test expression means you are giving some conditions. Okay. So based on the conditions you are testing whether it is true or not. Then update expression means you are changing the initialization variable, isn't it? So this much of things you have studied in the last class. Okay. So today we are going to study about for loop. So this for loop we are calling as a entry control loop. Okay. So what do you mean by for loop? What's other? It's a for loop is a entry control loop. Okay. So important one more question. And also we can say this for loop is the most easiest loop also. Okay. So the for loop is a entry control loop. What do you mean by entry control? So once you are running the program, so we can divide the part of the program into entry as well as exit. Okay. So particular block of code is there. Okay. So you are going to check the condition. So before entering into the loop. Okay. So you are checking the block or you are checking the loop. Before entering the loop, you are checking the condition. So that kind of things we are calling as an entry control loop. Okay. So that is entry control. Exit control means all the statements you have given inside the loop will executed over. After the loop, you are checking the condition. That we are calling as an exit control loop. Understood what's the difference between entry control and exit control? Okay. So this for loop is the entry control loop. Okay. So this expression or conditions is checked before the execution or before the flow entered into the loop. Okay. So this for loop also will contain three parts. This loop also contain three parts. So last class we have studied the loops will contain three parts. What are they? Initialization expression, test expression, update expression and body of the loop, isn't it? Likewise, this for loop will also contain how many statements? Three. What are they? Initialization, so condition statement or test expression or update expression. Okay. So these three things are separated using semicolons. Understood? This loop will contain three statements. What are they? Initialization, condition or text expression or update expression. These three things are separated by semicolons. Understood? Okay. So this is the general syntax for the for loop. See, this is the general syntax. Okay. So the for loop always starts with the keyword for. Understood? For loop always starts with the keyword for. So inside that, three parts you have studied. What are they? Initialization, test expression, and update expression. Okay. So and also each and every statements are separated using semicolon. See this index. First part is initialization part. Okay. Next, this initialization is separated using semicolon. Then text expression. Then update. So each and everything are separated using semicolons. Understood? Okay. Then inside this we are calling as a block. One block for loop. Okay. A block of code or loop. So inside what are the statements you are giving? That statements we are calling as a statements inside for loop. Okay. So this block or this loop will get over this curly brace. Understood? This loop begins here, opening curly brace, and ends with closing curly brace. Understood? So this statement is the outside of the loop. Understood? Okay. So what's the use of initialization part? Okay. So what's the use of initialization part means? So you are going to initialize some variables with some value. For example, a equal to 5 or b equal to 0, c equal to 6. Likewise, you are going to some initialize variables with some values or declaring variables. Okay. So that we are calling as an which one? Initialization part. Okay. So in the loop, this initialization part will be given at the beginning or starting of the loop. Okay. So this part will, see, this initialization part is given at the beginning or starting of the loop. Okay. So this initialization part will be executed only once. Understood? This initialization part will be executed only once. That is important. Okay. Then what's the next part then? What's the next part to say? Test expression. So name itself having test expression. So you are going to checking the condition here. Understood? You are going to checking the condition. So what's the result of the condition? Either the condition becomes true or sometimes it becomes false. Understood? So if the condition is true means, listen carefully, if the condition is true means automatically the statements, the control flow to the statements. Automatically what are the statements you are giving inside the loop, that statements will execute. Understood? After the execution of this statement, this update expression will run. Understood? So if the test expression means that is a condition, you are giving some condition. So if the condition is true means automatically the statements you have given inside the for loop will execute. Understood? Sometimes if the condition is false, okay, listen, if the condition is true means the statements given inside this for loop will execute. Then the automatically control flows to update expression. Next thing. So if the test expression, the condition is false means automatically the flow of control come outside of the loop and this statement will execute. Understood the working of the for loop? Okay. So listen. So the same thing only they have given here. So this is the flow chart for the for loop. Okay. So what's the same thing? So what's the first thing? Initialization statement. Then, okay. So what's the next thing? Text expression. Okay. So what I have explained, the same thing they have given in the block diagram or flow chart. Okay. So after the initialization statement, the text expression. So what's the mean by text expression? You are checking some conditions here. Okay. So either the condition becomes true or becomes false. Okay. So if the condition becomes true means which one needs to execute? Body of the loop. What do you mean by body of the loop? So this one we are calling as the body of the loop. That means the statements given inside between open brace and curly brace of the for loop. Okay. So that we are calling as in which one? Body of the loop. Okay. So if the condition is true means the statements giving inside this body for the for loop that will execute. Next time automatically the update statement will run. Then again this tip, listen, iteration. What do you mean by iteration statement? So iteration statement means particular set of statements will be executed repeatedly or again and again till the condition becomes false. So this loop will execute repeatedly. How many number of times you are giving, that number of till that number of times this loop will execute. So till the condition becomes false. Once the condition becomes false, automatically listen carefully. So for example, you are giving till 5 times. Okay. So till 5 times this loop will execute. After the 6th time, the condition becomes false. So automatically the control flow outside of the loop, that is exist for loop. So outside of the loop, which statement is there? Statement X will run. Understood the flow chart? Okay. So an example program they have given. So listen carefully. What's the example program? Means program to display numbers from 0 to 9 using for loop. Okay. So you are going to display numbers. Okay. What are the numbers you are going to display? Numbers, you are going to display the numbers 0 to 9 using which loop? For loop. Understood? So what's the header file? What's the header file? What's the first line of the program? Header file. So what's the header file you have studied? Hash include IOStream. What's the second line? Using namespace std. Then semicolon. What's the third line? Main of function. Okay. So listen carefully. So inside the main of function, you are going to write a program for displaying the numbers from 0 to 9 using which loop? For loop. Okay. So for that, you need to declare one variable. Understood? So inside the for loop, you are going to use one variable. For that, you are going to declare one variable. Okay. So numbers only you are going to use inside the for loop. For that, so what's the data type? Numbers means integers, isn't it? So what's the data type you should use? Int. Understood? What's the data type? Int. So which variable you are going to use means I. Understood? Okay. So now you are going to write the for loop. Listen carefully. For loop will contain 3 parts. What are the parts? Initialization, test expression and update expression. Okay. So listen carefully. First one is initialization. What do you mean by initialization? Okay. So inside the for loop, you should use some variables. Okay. So for that, you are using what's the variable name? I. Okay. So you are using numbers. Numbers means which is of data type? Int. Isn't it? So what's the data type here? Integer. Okay. So listen carefully. So this is for loop. So what's the syntax already you have studied? For loop will contain how many parts? 3 parts. What are the 3 parts? Initialization part, then test expression, then update expression. Isn't it? Okay. So this first part and also each and every part is separated using semicolon. So first one is initialization part. Okay. What do you mean by initialization part? So the variable is initialized with some values. So what's the variable you are using here? I. So the variable I is initialized with the value 0. Understood? Okay. So this is initialization. So already I have studied initialization part. This part, initialization part will be executed only once. That is the beginning of the loop. So it will executed only once. Understood? Okay. So next part is which part? Text expression. Okay. So that is you are giving some condition. What condition you are giving? I less than 10. What's the meaning? So you are giving the value of I equal to 0. So all the time the value of I needs to less than 10. So this loop will execute till the value becomes less than 10. Once the value becomes greater than 10, the exit, that is flow of control, automatically comes outside of the loop. Understood? So what condition you are giving? So condition is the value of I becomes less than 10. Understood? So next one is update expression. So what do you mean by update expression? So it will change the value of the initialization variable. Okay, what's the value of the initialization variable? So I plus plus. What's the value of I? 0. So each time the value of I becomes get changed. Okay, so each time the value of I will get changed. What do you mean by I plus plus? Each time the value of I becomes changed with value 1. That means each time the value will be added with 1. That's the meaning of I plus plus. Understood? Okay. So inside you are giving, this is called body of the loop. Okay. So see, you are giving one statement, no? What's the statement? Value of I, that is INDL. Okay. So this is one we are calling as and which one? Body of the loop. So here in the output screen you are displaying the value of the I. Okay. So value of I you are giving in variable I. Okay. So So next return 0. See the output. First, value of I. Listen carefully. First, what's the value of I? 0. Okay, first the initialization part will execute. Next, it will check the condition. Okay, so listen carefully. 0 less than 10. First, it will check the condition whether 0 is less than 10. Understood? Whether 0 is less than 10? Okay, so condition is true. So it will print the output. Okay, I equal to 0. Next time, okay, I plus plus. Next it will increase the value. What's the current value of I now? 0. So 0 plus 1. Understood? Okay, now what's the value of I? 1. So next time it will check. I is less than 10. That is 1 is less than 10. Okay, condition is true. 1 is less than 10, no? Okay, so it will display the output 1. Next time, 1 plus plus. What's the meaning of 1 plus plus? 1 plus 1, that is 2. Okay, next times it will check 2 less than 10. Okay, so it will print the value 2 till it will print the value till 9. Why? Okay, 9 is less than 10. Once it will reach the value, the program they are giving numbers from 0 to 9, isn't it? Once the value reaches 10, whether 10 is less than 10? No. So, automatically the flow of control comes outside of the loop. Understood? Understood the program? Understood the working of for loop? Okay. So, what I explained they have given separately. Listen carefully. First, they have given for I equal to 0. This is part is which one? The initialization expression. Okay. So, what's the second part? Test expression. Okay. That is I less than 10. Last one is I plus plus. Listen. So, first which will execute? I equal to 0. First it will I equal to 0. First it will execute. Then it will check the condition. Okay. I is less than 10. So, immediately the body of the loop will execute. After that, the value of I will get increased with 1. Understood? So, this loop will execute how many number of times? 9 till 9 number of times. That is iteration. Understood? Particular set of statements will execute more number of, that is repeated times based on the condition is true. Okay? So, we are calling this as an iteration statements. Understood? Okay. See the next program. Okay, what's the program? Program to sum the numbers from 1 to 10 using for loop. Okay, so you are going to add the numbers from where to where? 1 to 10 using which loop? For loop. Understood? Okay. So what's the first line? Already you know what's the first line? Hash include iostream. Second line is namespace std. Okay. So what's the next line? Main of. Inside the main of function, listen carefully. So you are declaring two variables. Okay, what are the variables you are declaring? Two. What are they? In I and sum. Okay, so inside the for loop, you should use some variable, isn't it? So that variable you should declare here with the data type. That's the first step. Very, very important. So what variable you are going to use inside the for loop? So that variable you should declare after the main of function. Of belongs to which data type? Okay. So here we are using numbers. So numbers means which data type? Integer. Okay. So int I. You are using which variable? I. So int I. Understood? Next is sum equal to 0. So in the question they asked, you are going to find the sum of the numbers. From where to where? 1 to 10. Okay. You are going to find the sum of the numbers from 1 to 10. Okay. So for that, so initially you are giving the value for the sum is 0. Okay. So each time you are going to add 2 or 3 numbers and you are going to store the answer to the sum variable. For that, initially you are declaring the variable sum with the value 0. Understood why you have declared the value sum equal to 0? Because first time you are not giving any answer. Next time after the increment value only you are getting value. So only first time initializing the value of sum equal to 0. Understood? Okay. So next inside the for loop you are going to add these numbers. Okay. For example, this for, what's the syntax for the for loop? Starts with keyword for. So for inside, okay, what variable you are using? I. What's the first step? Initialization variable. Okay. So here you are giving the value of I equal to 1. Why? Here, listen carefully. In the program they have given program to sum the numbers from 1. Understood? They asked to sum the numbers from 1. So you are giving the value of I equal to 1. Okay. So 1 to 10. So next you are giving text expression is I less than or equal to 10. Why? So till 10 you need to sum. Understood? Third one is update expression I plus plus. Okay, this is a general syntax for loop. So don't write any blunder mistake inside the for loop. Understood? Okay. Listen. So inside this one we are calling as in which one? Body of the loop. Or inside the for loop statement you are giving, no, that one we are calling as in which one? Body of the loop. Okay. So here listen carefully. So here you are giving sum equal to sum plus I. Okay. What's the formula you are giving for adding numbers from 1 to 10? Sum equal to sum plus I. Already you are giving or initializing the variable sum equal to 0, isn't it? So you are giving sum equal to sum plus I. Understood? Okay. So listen, next you are closing the bracket. Next step. So next you are giving the output screen. See out the sum of 1 to 10 is. So now the result you are storing in which variable? Now the result you are storing in which variable? Sum. So you should call the variable sum. Next return 0. Listen carefully. So now you are running the program. What output you will get? The sum of 1 to 10 is 55. Okay. How you will get the answer 55 means listen carefully. First thing. First I equal to 1. What's the formula? Sum equal to sum plus 5. I, isn't it? So what's the value of I now? First initial value is 1. So next, what's the next step? It will check the condition. 1 is less than or equal to 10. So whether 1 is less than or equal to 10? Okay, condition is true. Okay. Then, so condition is true means here this loop, this statement will execute. Listen carefully. So what's the value of I now? 1. Okay. So what's the value sum now? 0. So 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1, what's the value answer now? 1. Isn't it? So now the value of sum is 1. Okay, first value you got it. Okay. Next I plus plus. So what's the current value of I now? 1. I plus plus means next value is I plus 1 plus 1, 2. Okay. Next step, 2 less than or equal to 10. Condition is true. Okay. So next, 2 is less than or equal to 10. That condition is done. Again it will come. What's the value of I now? 2. Again what's the value sum you got it? 1. So 1 plus 2, 3. Likewise, it will execute till 10. So 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus likewise it will add. Okay. So finally you will get the answer as 55. Understood how you will get the answer as 55? Okay. So next thing is variations of for loop. These are all very important questions. Please listen carefully, and also these are all very basic things. Okay. So next one is variations of for loop. Okay. So already you have studied this for loop is a most important loop as well as very easiest and simplest method you can easy to use it, isn't it? So here you are going to make some variations in the for loop. Okay. So using these variations you can easily based on your wish you can able to use. That is flexible based on your wish. Okay. So you are making some variations in the loop. So whatever variations you are making, that is no problem, but it is flexible. Okay. So what are the variations you are going to do? That one we are going to study. Okay. Multiple initialization and multiple update expression. So already you have studied about initialization and update expression, isn't it? What do you mean by initialization? So initialization means the first inside the for loop, first part, beginning, isn't it? It will execute only once. That is, so you are giving or initializing some values for the variable. So that one we are calling initialization, isn't it? Update expression means, so it will change the current value for the current value of initialization variable. So that is either increment or decrement. Okay. So here we are studying about multiple initialization and multiple update expression. What do you mean by multiple? Many. So already you have studied only one initialization, isn't it? So here you are using more initialization, that is more than one initialization and more than one update expressions inside the for loop. Okay. Listen. So what's the one program they have given explanation. Okay. What's the first line? Header file, then namespace std, main of function. Listen carefully. Here you are initializing two variables. Okay. You are initializing how many variables? Two variables. Okay. So what are the variable means? Variable I and j. Okay. What are the variables you are initializing? Initializing I and j. Okay, so inside the for loop, you are initializing two variables. What are they? I and j. Okay, so value of I equal to 0 and value of j equal to 10. So in the initialization part, you should give some values for the variable, isn't it? So that's what's the meaning mean. That's the initial value for the variable I and j. So what's the initial value for the variable I? 0. So what's the initial value for the variable j? 10. Understood? But what's the important thing means, once you are give multiple initialization, you should separate the initialization variables by commas. Understood? You should separate the initialization variable by commas. And understand how is it visible? I equal to 0, comma j equal to 0. Okay. So this here two variables you are initializing. Understood what I mean by multiple initialization? Okay. So next one is update expression, that is text expression, that is same one. Here what's the condition you are giving is I less than j. The value of I is always less than j. Okay, next multiple update expression. So here you are using two variables, isn't it? So update expression also you will get two variables. So I plus plus comma j minus minus. So here also more than one update expressions you are using means that should separated using commas. Understood? Okay. So now in the output screen you are giving, so see out the value of I is, so the value of I is I. Next the value of j is j. Okay. Okay, next return 0. Listen carefully how you will get the output. First one is value of, listen carefully, value of I is, what's the value of I now? 0. So it will check the condition. Yes, 0 is less than 10. Okay. So the value of I is 0. Next step, the value of j is, what's the value of j now? 10. Okay. See the output. So what's the first value of j? 10. Understood. Listen carefully. Next thing, I plus plus. What's the value of I plus plus? So already 0. 0 plus 1, you will get answer 1. J minus minus. Already the value of j is 10. So 10 minus 1, 9. See? Value 1, j I is 1 and till it will execute, the condition become false. So here, next, see listen. So next already you got it 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. So 2 is less than j. Okay, value of I is 2. J minus minus, already 9. 9 minus 1, value is 8. Understood? So till it will execute, the condition becomes false. Understood? Okay. So here the value, last value of I you got it 4. 4 is less than 6. Okay. So after that you can't able to find. Understood? Understood multiple initialization and multiple expression? Okay. So next one is prefer prefix operator or postfix operator. So what do you mean by prefix and what do you mean by postfix? So in English also you might have studied the same one. So prefix means before the letters. Postfix means after the letters. Okay. So in the computer, in program we can see means before the variable we call this prefix and after the variable you call this postfix. For example, j plus plus. Okay. So the symbols you are using after the variable. So that we are calling as a postfix. Understood? Minus minus j. For example, minus minus j. So there the symbols you are using before the variable j. So that one we are calling as a prefix. So understood the difference between prefix and postfix? Prefix means the symbols used before the variable. Postfix means the symbols used after the variable. Okay. So, but we will always prefer prefix. So, prefix and postfix also two kinds of operators are there. Okay. So, increment operator as well as decrement operator. What do you mean by increment operator? Plus plus. Plus plus is a increment operator. Minus minus is a decrement operator. What do you mean by plus plus? The current value of particular variable is incremented with 1. Minus minus means the current value of the variable is decrement by 1. Understood? Why we are always preferring prefix means compared to postfix, this prefix operators are executed faster than the postfix. Understood? Sometimes they will ask question why you are preferring prefix than postfix. Why? So if you are using prefix operator means, so the execution time, that is execution becomes fast compared to postfix. Understood? Okay. So next one is optional expressions. What do you mean by optional? So options. So you guys in the question paper you seen choose the correct answer. So what's mean choose the correct answer? In that choose the correct answer part, there will be a 4 options. But fill in the blanks where there will be options are there? No. So likewise here optional expressions. Some expressions are not compulsory. No need to give compulsory. Some expressions are always optional. So what are the expressions you are giving as a optional that we are going to study? Okay, so already for loop 3 expressions are there. What are they? Initialization part, test expression and update expression, but some expressions need not to be give compulsory, that's a optional. Understood? Okay. So for that one example program we are going to study. First one, what's first line? Hash include IOStream, that's a header file. Second one is namespace. Next one is main of function. Okay. So listen, inside that you are declaring 3 variables. What are the variables? I, int I, then sum equal to 0. The value of sum you are initializing 0. Next you are entering the value of n. One more variable. So you are entering the values for n. Okay. So inside that, listen, inside the main of function, so you are giving cout, enter the value of n. You are entering the value for n. Okay. So your output you are giving, you are getting the input from user means you will give input as a variable. What's the variable? N. Next, listen carefully. So, what's the format for loop? First one is 3 parts. Initialization, test expression and update expression. So, here some things are optionally we can give. So, instead of you are giving this initialization part inside the for loop, I am giving is outside the for loop. See, I equal to 1. So, outside the for loop, I am giving I equal to 1. So, inside the for loop, so I am leaving the space for the first space. Okay. So, here only initialization part will come now. So, I am leaving the space and but you should separate with semicolon. Next one is I less than or equal to n. So, what's the third part? Update expression. That is also missing. That one we are giving under that one or inside the body of the loop. Okay. So, here sum plus equal to I. So, each time the value of sum is get incremented with the value of 1 plus I. See, this update expression you are giving inside the body of the loop. Understood? Okay. So, here initialization part and this update and pros are not giving inside the for loop but outside the for loop. So, that's an optional thing. Understood? So, now you are entering sum of 1 to the value of n is. So, now the answer is storing in which variable? Sum. Understood? Now, you are coming outside of the, see the output. So, first what's the first line? You get enter the value of n. So, you are entering the value of n is 5. Okay. So, 5 times this loop will execute. So, first each time it will check the value of n is less than or equal to, sorry, I is less than or equal to, okay, which one? N. Okay, the first thing was what's the 5? 1. 1 is less than or equal to 5. Okay. So, 1 plus 1, then 2. Likewise. Then 2 is less than or equal to, still it will execute and it will find the sum. Answer finally you will get as a 15. Understood? Understood this program? Okay. So, today up to this ENF, then remain we can continue in the next class. Okay, today what are the portions you have studied? For loop, then inside the for variations in the for loop, 3 programs you have studied. So, this portions I am going very slowly because this is very very important and basic things for you. You should know and you should study thorough. You should know the concept very thorough. Okay. So, please study thorough. What are things today I have taught? Please study thorough and write in your computer notebook. Thank you students. Remain we can continue in the next class. Thank you.